produced the atomic bomb and other technological advances between the two nations. Right? So the fallacy of Russia and America being enemies when Russia was the only ones that sent support to the natives of the land when they seized Alaska from the French and the Spaniards that was attacking us on the west, that decimated the Caliphate queens. Right? Her castle used to sit where Alcatraz at. They bombed it into oblivion with the Spanish Armada. And then they wrote the fictional tales of the encounter with the Amazonian women, which is another story for the Caliphate queens, because they ruled all the way from California to the Amazon going around south. And the women used to go there to do women's retreat rituals for cleansing and healing, like after childbirth, after relationship breakups or a person died. They used to go to the Caliphate queens for healing, spiritual healing, right? And the men would be on the mainland and they protected the castle from the mainland. But they hadn't experienced no shit like that Spanish Armada, right? They built a replica because they got to give us a means to discover what they did. So they had to build a replica of the Caliphate castle. And you see it every time you watch a Disney movie. The replica of the Caliphate Queen's castle. And women used to come from all over the world to learn the science of love and the art of making a family peaceful and happy from the highest evolved feminine position of royalty.
Sure.
The culture hasn't changed. We just put on modern clothes. You still have people trying to bring back the old culture, right? When they used to wade in the water, that's not just a gospel song. That's a tribal coded liberation song. Because when the women go back to dressing in the white and doing the water rituals of cleansing and balancing their energy to the spiritual synchronicity between water and spirit, they become a whole different creature. And we got heaven on earth again.
Yes, sir. So that's deep. So I got some questions I want to follow up with that, but we had a tribe member drop a good question I said I'll bring to the floor. So I'm gonna ask from the tribe real quick before I go into mine. So shout out to Yin Yan Princess says, what's the difference between Russia and is it Prussia? Prussia?
Yeah, when it was Prussia is when it was under it was a whole empire. It covered almost 60% of northern Europe. It was called the Prussian Empire. And it was a rival empire to the rise of the Italian Roman Empire. Right? So they fought wars between each other. They culminated with the Bolshevik Revolution and the assassination of Tsar Nicholas, the rightful blood heir. And he wasn't pale-faced.
That sounds like the black nobility type stuff.
It was, because in Europe, the Inquisition, the French Revolution was the infighting from the invaders that came out of the Middle East. They came up through Turkey as Ottomans became Byzantine kings. They went across northern Africa, being chased across the desert sands until they crossed into the Iberian Peninsula for the shenanigans they was doing. Elijah Muhammad tell you what they was doing. Everywhere they go, they cause mischief and bloodshed. They find two peaceful people, sow the seeds of dissension between them. This is called divide and conquer.
Yep.
And when they fighting each other and they about to kill each other in the heat of the moment, while they the heat of the passion, they step in the middle and say, "I can solve your problem if y'all listen to me." And then he stick his hands out to get paid. So I say for a fee.
Yeah.
So they ran him into. They came into Europe as the Etruscans and Phoenicians, settled Italy, making Rome. Tuscany was before it was Rome, Italy. So during this time, you have the birth priestesses birthing new civilization in Greece. Right? Remember, the first university in Europe was on the island of Crete. And it was developed and staffed by Egyptian priests and priestesses.
That's deep. That's real deep.
The Jacobite is the imposter. The Earthborn is the original. How do we know this? What do Jacob mean? It means supplanter. What do a supplanter do? It burrows under the root to replace the original. Right? And so the supplanter is the one coming to steal the birthright. They tell you that in the story of Jacob and Esau. Jacob being Jacob. Jacob being the supplanter. To conceal his identity and his purpose, they changed his name to Israel.
Listen.
So now he's living his life with an alias. He's no longer Jacob the supplanter. He's all of a sudden, voila, I'm an Egyptian now.
Now, that's funny because I just saw something today I meant to send you before we got on the doggone air to share on the air, but maybe we'll do it on the next one. But okay, now when you say the Jacob character, now in regards to that, are we talking about the big-headed scientist? Is that the same character, the Jacob character?
Which was originally metaphoric, but he did have a fat ass head. But we be calling people that to imply they're extra smart. Remember, the term brainiac and the term nerd came from a school of ours called Brainerd University, which was one of the elementary schools that would produce nothing but geniuses. So when you've been hearing people calling somebody a nerd, a geek, right, or a brainiac, all that come from Brainerd University. It was brought back to life by Felicia Rashad and Debbie Allen.
When did they bring it back to life? Was it in a movie or a show or something?
No, in real life.
Get out of here.
In real life. If you follow Felicia Rashad and Debbie Allen, and they were they refighting, they raised money to bring Brainerd University back.
Wow.
With their curriculum.
Wow. That's dope. I've never heard of that. That's deep. That's real deep.
It's a lot of what because the celebrities are under contract that they're not supposed to do nothing for their community.
Yep. That's how they get
all until the duration of the contract expires. That's to keep them out of community activism work. Because because we believe in breaking bread and helping each other get on our feet. So when you start making $100 million as a basketball player, football player, baseball player, your natural instinct is to go back and put your whole town on.
Right.
I'm finna go put all my homeboys on now. So they needed to stop that. Because of people like Debbie Allen, like Ruby D and Ozzy. They I can hear you good.
All right. Now my next question for you, and because this ties all in together. Meanwhile, while we getting the Big Mama time coming back in, we dealing with a lot of stuff in Ohio. It's one brother. You probably been hearing the news about the one brother that ran over the police that shot his son in the back. What do you see on that? Do you see that the brother is justified for hitting a cop that wasn't even a cop that shot his son in the back? Is it just all around get back? Because people are saying that all cops are bad cops, and
Oh, listen. All cops not bad cops. They just on the wrong side. The police don't supposed to be here. First of all, they're occupying military force chartered out of London, England. So that's the first problem. They over here under hostile circumstances, and they want us to lay down and take it. I'm sorry, you got the wrong generation with the wrong elders rising to power and the wrong youth being born. We not no longer laying down and taking it. Everybody has to do whatever they feel in their heart that they justified in doing to balance the scales of justice. And I'm not going to say nothing negative about that, man, because if it had been my son, the only difference is I'd have waited till I found out exact police,
right,
and I'd have took out his kids first so he could feel the suffering right before I take him out.
Go ahead. See, you think a little bit like I think.
Look,
See,
I ain't the only one. Look, one of the elders was on one of them podcasts, and they asked him if the police killed one of his kids, what would you do? He said, I would get my affairs in order, and I would go and I would kill everybody in his family till he feel it before I kill him. So I ain't the only one feel that way. This ain't your Martin Luther King, we shall overcome generation. I'm sorry to tell you, this ain't the turn of the other cheek generation. You got a whole new cast of characters, and I can't tell them, and you can't tell them either, don't defend their family.
Right? Go ahead. I feel you on that. That's real talk.
You can't tell us that no more. The contract is up. We can act a fool now. This is what they don't understand. But before we act a fool, we need some strategy about it, because they ain't gonna lay down and just let. The only way we can do it without causing a bunch of chaos is the way that Donald J doing it, systematically taking it down from the top to the bottom. Because the ones at the bottom is mindless drones, angry sheep. Right, and when you piss off an angry sheep, you might as well you done pissed off a wolf in sheep's clothing. He don't even know he a wolf dressed up like a sheep.
Right.
Them little low-ranking individuals, the new converts they send out to get other converts, and they ask the same questions they ask to get converted, to make it easier for the new convert to be converted. I'm not asking the same question, and I'm not making the same statements.
Right.
Right. For him to do what he did, he felt justified in his heart. And if he felt justified, he's prepared to do the time.
Yeah, that's what I said too. I thought about that afterwards. Like, that brother, he was smiling. That I thought about it, because some people, when they do things, they regret it and it's sitting in the cell. Like, dang, I should have did that. But I don't think he feel like that. I think he feel like,
if you were in prison for something that you know you earned your right to be there, you don't feel the same pain as a motherfucker that feels innocent. Right? Because the police be setting people up, and people be believing because the police set you up, you had to be guilty.
Right.
Because he arrested you, you had to be guilty. They don't know that they the enemies to carry out the war rant. Right? They just put all the words together to confuse us with legalese and call it a warrant.
War rant.
It's the declaration of war that they declare against one individual.
Go ahead.
That's so that they don't have to fight us all. It's easier to beat us one at a time. But soon as we realize what's taking place on the land, and that we in the process of reclaiming our birthright, they not gonna have that opportunity, because all of the ones that's in the force that didn't know they was being used by the enemy gonna quit on their own. They haven't realized it yet. Right? And the ones who feel like they justified as the police, they the goddamn law, they gonna stay on the force because they sociopath, and they gonna be food for the tribes.
Go
because
ahead.
they legal standing will be revoked. They come with that bullshit, they gonna get what they got coming.
Well, I
But
tell you what.
the smartest thing for us to do is join forces with each other, watch Trump tear this son down, and be ready when Big Mama call us all for the big old family reunion and have Mardi Gras from coast to coast. That's the smartest thing for us to do.
Right.
But if they do something to your family and you feel justified, like you can handle whatever the consequences is, handle your business.
Yeah, I'm with it. That ain't no bad
You're
idea.
not getting away with doing something to my family. I'm sorry, it might look like you got away, and I'm long suffering, so I could wait a long time to get even.
Yeah, I'll sit on it for a while, brother. I'm telling you.
You
And then
know,
all of a sudden, when you least expect it,
watch the
they,
quiet before the storm. That's all I can tell them.
right? Now,
But
shout out to the people because that brother, he's probably gonna be living good up in there because his books is maxed out. Like they just started him so much money, you can't even. They won't even allow nobody to send him no more money. So he got enough money for Stow. He gonna be good. You got Stow, man. You the man up in there. You know what I'm
listen,
saying?
and then on top of that, man, the dude is a national hero for the tribes, and we don't even know it.
Go ahead.
He a national hero for the tribes, right? And the police don't. But this is the part that's the saddest of it all. Is the police don't know that they not supposed to be here, and the sheriffs don't know that the police is treading on their jurisdiction and they hostile forces.
Right.
So if the sheriff understood who the police was, he would arrest from the chief on down to the beat cop.
Right. Damn
And
sure right.
he would take over a police station with the sheriff's department, right? Because he have the jurisdictional authority in the county granted by the people in that county.
Right.
They don't have the jurisdiction. Nobody elected them in the community. That's unconstitutional. You're not supposed to give that power to nobody without doing it with a public election by the will of the collective. The people in the town got to determine who their chief is of their law enforcement division. This is why sheriffs are elected officials, and they are the elected officials that's supposed to make sure that other people don't impersonate the law under United States Code 1984. 24 U.S.C. 1984 under the color of law. They dressed up under the color of law, right? And this is because of the War Powers Act that's never been revoked. We've been in a perpetual state of war ever since they had a constitution.
Right.
First, George Washington was under the Emergency War Powers Act, right? And then Lincoln doubled down and declared the national emergency under the Emergency War Powers Act. This is why the president is the head of the country, the highest military official, and he has to be elected by the people, and he got to be born on the land.
Right.
Right. And when the corporation put Obama in there, they breached the contract and ended the sovereign responsibilities given to the corporation under the contract called the Constitution. They not our government. They frauds. But it's not enough of us aware of it for it to change, but we becoming aware.
Right.
And the more we becoming aware, it becomes visible by the algorithm change in social media. The algorithm change in how the people move on the land. When they talking about put your boots on the ground where your fans at is an anthem, right? Because your boots on the ground means soldier ready. The fans, when they ask them where the fans at, we know them shit kickers got to kick the shit somewhere.
Right.
Right? And that's what they call the boots. The shit kickers. So the shit kickers kicking the shit into the fan.
Right.
All of it is telling us the story of the tribes movement without overtly stating, because they did for so long, they talked in our face, behind our back, using signs and symbols.
Right.
We talk in their face, behind their back, using song and dance.
Go ahead.
The only reason why the signs and symbols was prevailed was because of the stupor of the contract from the blood magic. Now that the contract has been exposed, we are waking up in masse, as they say. And you can tell by how the youth is bombarding the internet with facts.
Right.
This is what they showing you, where they wrote about the truth before they started telling us to lie. They pulling out the old books of the ones that was there, telling the story firsthand, versus the ones that's telling it in the aftermath, whitewashing the history.
Right.
Right. So once we got the babies on the right trail, there's too many of them with too many eyes on the problem and the solution. We don't got to tear nothing up, but it don't mean that some of us won't need to tear something up. It ain't necessary for us to go into all-out warfare, because we got more allies than we possibly could imagine. We just didn't know they was allies because they hadn't talked to the right people yet. Because a lot of people was thinking that we was the problem against each other, and all of the time it was a third party hiding behind each of us, throwing rocks at each other in the name of name calling, colorful epithets, right? And it created monsters called Karens, right? And angry black women. Listen, I feel about the angry black women the same way Malcolm felt about an angry black man. He said, and Malcolm say, if you're not an angry black man in America, you are not a sane black man in America. Because only can you be, you cannot be a sane man in America and not be angry. So the only way you cannot be angry, you have to be the lost your damn mind. So if the women is angry, yeah, because when Big Mama got took off her throne, that usurped their birthright, they supposed to be mad about it. Right. The problem is they didn't know who to be mad at, so they was just mad at everybody. And that goes back to one of the rules to the game, DTAA. Don't trust anybody, right? Make them prove themselves first. So the angry black woman is actually a shield to make you prove yourself before you can get to them soft innards. Go ahead. It's just like the shield on the armadillo. As long as he balled up, you can't get in there. But if he comfortable, he'll stretch out and let you rub his belly. Right. She's not gonna let you get to the soft, sweet, loving woman until you get past the raging, angry black woman that want her shit back, because you got to be either bringing her shit back or telling her how to get it. That's damn so right, bro. Right. So when she realized that you either bringing it back or telling her how to get it, then she started being softer, kinder, sweeter. Yeah. Right. What was that? Who sang that song? I'll Be Sweeter. It wasn't Phyllis Hyman. Yes, it was. I think it was Phyllis Hyman. Say I'll be sweeter next time. Yeah. Because the whole thing is, ain't nobody happy when they birthright is taken from them. Even if it's not consciously aware to them, somebody stole their birthright.
I need a fucking something.
You can tell by how I feel that something ain't right. And you might have a clue. You might know you're supposed to be somebody with importance. You might know that you're supposed to be rich, but where's your wealth? You know all of this stuff. And when you're looking around and you seeing other people living high on the hog and you struggling day to day, that's going to piss you off. It's going to make you angry. But the problem is, as Tupac said when he unleashed thug life on the world, when you get done being angry, what you going to do next? Because angry energy will make you crash out. But wise enemy energy know that if he can calm the rage energy long enough to direct it in the right place, that shit laser focus.
Hey, Rod, I got a
Yeah.
couple more questions for you. 'Cause I know you said you got an hour. Hey, man. So real quick, I'm speaking on Big Mama's babies. Marcus Garvey, Gorilla Clan. What was his aim on working from your perspective? What was his aim on working with Walter Plecker in the Back to African campaign? What's your
Look,
take on that?
Walter Plecker was to create an antithesis to skin color in order to create a magnet of people. This is what eugenics was. Eugenics is written by Enki. It's the purification of the blood and the restoration of the corrupted blood by giving it one drop of the purified blood. But in order to make people want the purified blood in the contaminated blood to mix, you got to tell them they can't be together. It's something wrong with the people that don't look like you, right? And the only way you can get a God to do something is to tell him he can't do it.
Hey,
And
fact.
he gonna do it just to defy what you said he can't.
That's facts,
Right.
Rod.
So when you go back to J.A. Rogers' Sex and Race and Nature Knows No Color line, and then you just get to see the trickery being played. But not until you get to that Nearly Fuller United Independent Compensatory Code for breaking the chains of white supremacy will you actually have the tools to see beyond the veil. A veil of an illusion so elaborate that they conscripted all forms of government, entertainment, politics, religion, warfare in order to form a ring of lies around this one valuable truth. And that one valuable truth is one drop of blood will resurrect your ass from the dead. We in a crucible. You create the contention in order to relieve the tension. First got to come the hostilities, then the regret. The psychopathic racial personality that's the Iceman inheritance had to go through a catharsis. But it also had to go through a bloodline fusion. You remember Baba talking about tying into the van, right?
Right. And the Blessed the Records Rate book. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, if you tying into the van, that means that you're twigging. Twigging is the earliest term they had for cloning. Right? So we actively cloning a new people by putting two unlike people together to form the new people. Right? Once the new people is formed, it cleaned up the debauchery that was the old diluted people, but it also relieves the punishment from the righteous people for allowing them dirty motherfuckers to do it.
Go ahead.
So when Yakub was grafting his dove and left niggas in charge, this is why we've been thinking that the cracker was in charge. Because one of the things when you create a new people, everybody have a right to rule. Everybody got to have had a right to rule at an ascension time. We in an ascension time. We ascending into the age of Aquarius, into the age of knowing, into the age of spirituality. Genetics just tell you what the great debauchery was and what was the remedy. Once you know the remedy, then you apply the remedy in order to effectuate the solution. So the crucible, God's melding pot, where you blend the metals, the platinum group metals represent each of the groups of humans. Right? And from the platinum group metals, by mixing and melding, you form a new form of metal. Like iron and brass make bronze. Iron and copper make brass. Right? You got to mix it together. Iron and aluminum makes, I think, tin or something like that. By mixing the two metals, you make a new metal. And the new metal going to have its own number on the periodic table of elements because it's not neither of the original. So now we take that from the metals to understand the ABO grouping. right? The primary 7 blood types, right? And the master blood type is the O blood. O blood is omega blood. Omega blood is original blood. So when you studying in the comics and it's telling you about an omega level mutant that have world destroying powers, it's always talking about the divine Shakti energy, Kali Ma, Mother Time, Mother Space. It's all talking about the creative potentiality of the divine feminine in which we extract the divine masculine. And we use the divine feminine to teach the divine masculine how to be truly divine, right? And once he's truly divine, he's a master in divination. And as a master of divination, now he can read the oracles. And we know that the oracles is from Delphi. And Delphi is Delta. And Delta is the Delta Blues. And the Delta Blues come from Mississippi. So they telling you the story all over the world at the same time without telling you the story. You on mute, Elder.
They didn't get that. Now this is my next question for you. Now I notice it's still some brothers over. I don't know if they ages or what, but they still promoting the Back to Africa campaign. I know we went over this 1,000 times, but but these brothers never been to Africa. Marcus Garvey never been to Africa. They promoting what's up with this, man? Why they study hitting us over the head with this back? Y'all need to go on back to Africa. We never been to Africa. Why we got to go back somewhere we never been?
They got Garveyism and the Back to Africa movement wrong. Garvey's intent wasn't to take us all back to Africa. It's in his writings. But he said all eyes on Africa because Africa is going to show you when the rise come. We seeing it now, right? And then the African rise is coinciding with the tribes from over here because we cousins.
That's
right? Them are cousins over there, and over here we supposed to be brothers.
Right.